Hello tankers and tankettes, welcome to a short and sweet mouse replay. This is one of my games and it's going to be a rather fun little match. I wish every mouse match was like this, but sadly it can't always be that. I'm with Circon and Foch, who are both in tier 10 medium tanks, Circon in a T62A and Foch in the STB1, which are both rather different sorts of machines from the mouse. Well, they're both medium tanks for starters, and they can both go faster than 20 kilometers an hour. Now, Circon and Foch like to fight down in the southwest corner, basically regardless, more or less regardless of the tank type that they're in. But I decided, just looking at the spread of tanks, looking at what enemies we were going to be facing, and looking at my allies that were going in this direction, I decided I was actually going to help out the Glacier. I just felt like doing this for a change because, for one thing, I'm going to be too slow to get down to that corner before everybody else gets down to that corner. There's a lot of people going down to that corner. And for another thing, this is 3 tier 8s that are coming along the Glacier. So if there are any enemy tier 10s, they are not going to pose much challenge. That these tier 8s aren't, rather than the tier 10 isn't going to pose much challenge for the tier 8s, because that would make less sense. But basically I'm there to be their heavy backup, and if all goes well I will roll the flank forward and hope that they stick at my back, provide extra firepower basically. So that's the ideal scenario. We'll see if it actually does work out that way. So yeah, I'm gonna think of some way to fill in the next 30 or 40 seconds or so, because the mouse driving forwards takes a little while. There's going to be some interesting shots in this game. The RNG was with me in terms of actually hitting stuff, I'll say that right now. I had some extremely lucky shots indeed. But sometimes the RNG giveth and the RNG taketh away, and in this particular game the RNG gaveth and gaveth and gaveth rather nicely. No ammo racks or fires or anything like that, it's just my gun behaves itself, and the mouse gun, it's alright, it's not terrible. The E100 actually, although it's got that 15cm with the better alpha, the burst penetration is quite frequently rather annoying. And I just find myself, as a damage dealer, preferring the mouse, even though there can be a lot of games where the mouse just doesn't get to the party in time, basically. Fortunately, this isn't going to be one of those games. So that Object 140 is around the corner. There's an IS-3 that's been spotted. And it looks like these tier 8s that are with me, they're actually paying attention to what I'm doing. And I'm actually being deliberately quite aggressive here. I still don't know what's around the corner, but if I can get up to that corner and side scrape, I am going to be basically artillery safe. Anyway, I had a lucky hit on the 50B. I'm thinking I can maybe hit the VKB as he goes across, but I reload slightly too late. Oh, there's 50B again, and if I can get the kill, that would be nice, and I do, and it is indeed very nice. So I'm going to pull forward at this point, and yeah, this is going to involve taking a hit from the Object 140. But I didn't want to travel forward at an angle because that would expose my flank to more fire from the tanks around the corner. So I decided, I took the executive decision that I was just going to donate a few of my hit points to this Object 140 in order that I could get forward to shoot at him and then place my front armour at such an angle that I had a much better chance of bouncing him. And he's hit me once more, but I've also bounced him, and there we go, I bounced his second shot as well. Or fourth shot, rather. Second, fourth, slight difference, right? I might even have counted that entirely wrong. I don't know, that's always possible. Anyway, killing that 50B on the other flank really helped out Circon and Foch. They are really on the offensive there, and I'm just going to plough forward at this point because it looks like, and yeah, right, it's just tier 8s. 2 heavies and a T28 plot. And again, these guys behind me, they are paying attention. They are moving up. They're not just letting me go round the corner. They actually are... What's happening is I'm tanking the damage so that the weaker tier 8s are able to come round and lend their firepower to mine. So that's the ideal of the mouse. That is what you want to happen. And in this case, because I'm in a mouse and they're in tier 8 tanks, I'm now fairly comfortable, basically, and we're just able to press forward, and I'm just able to keep racking up the damage because it's almost 4,000 now. I don't get to have that many reasonably high damage games in the mouse, but it happens. It's always rather pleasant. So there we go, another kill. If I can get another hit into the Tiger 2, that'll be even more damage. And these guys just rolling forward. Yeah, this was the ideal scenario. This exactly worked out how you would want it to work out. And that doesn't happen very often in a mouse, so this was just really nice. So we're down to the last couple of tanks now. Circon leading the charge on the other side, and that IS-3 not IS-3, the AT-15, whatever it was, that took the hit anyway. So we know there's stuff there, and there is stuff there. An IS-8 that's been sat there the whole battle, and an AT-15. Yeah, well positioned, boys. I mean, you had, what, 4 friendly tanks. They had 4 friendly tanks up at that corner, and they decided the best way to support them would be all the way back there. Good plan, good plan. So the AT-15 was a lucky hit. The IS-8 was kind of lucky. I mean, there was a chance at this range it would just skitter off his turret, but as it was, that went in as well. So I've done 5,200 damage, and all I had to do was just drive forward in that one. That was really nice. I wish every mouse game was like that. So let's take a quick look at my scores. I got a steel wall and a high caliber out of that, 1100 base XP, 5 kills, and as I said, nearly 5,200 damage. I maybe could have tried and timed my last shot to get a last kill, to get a top gun as well, but it would have been very difficult trying to actually pull that off when on the other side, you know, behind that AT-15 and IS-8, all the friendlies were piling around that corner as well. So I'm not convinced I could have pulled it off. It would have been a very chancy occurrence. It would have been a nice occurrence if it had happened, but it was unlikely to happen, I think, even if I'd been deliberately going for it. Second place on the team was actually Circon with only 1,800 damage and 3 kills. But what you can't see, and what I can see looking at the scores on WotReplays, is that he had 3,100 spotting damage. So he was getting most of the spotting on that corner where he and Foch and all those other tanks were fighting. So even though damage-wise it wasn't that impressive, all that spotting plus the damage he did do was enough to get him second place. And third place was actually the Lurver that was with me on that corner, so that was nice as well. So, detailed report, the damage blocked was not particularly that great. It was 3,170, but I'm pretty sure 9.0, that's the point where they changed. People will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the point where they changed the blocked damage so it doesn't actually count tracks, the damage to your track seat anymore. But I could be wrong. It might just be that 3,000 damage, in which case that's still alright for a mouse. That's just over your own hit points, which is, I suppose, just about what you're going for. But the standout thing from the last the results screen is that it was 13 shots fired, 13 hits, 13 pens. Yeah, what can I say? Mouse, it's the best scout, it's the best sniper, it just does everything. It's just the best. Well, I say just the best. It's the best at tier 10. Obviously, the overall best would be the AMX40, but you know, the mouse is a pretty close second place, I would say. Pretty close. So, if you enjoyed this short slice of mouse action, you can hit the like button, you can leave any comments below, you can subscribe to my channel, and, as always, stay tuned for more.